Today, Nintendo presented an Indie World Showcase, showcasing upcoming indie games for the Switch. And it was a pretty good presentation. It's always good to know which indie games are coming. Indie games are a good way to pad out the lineup. And there were some very interesting games. Not everything hit, but it was a decent amount of announcements. What I liked is that most of them were things that we really hadn't heard of on the Switch already. The only one that I actually had heard of was Boldo. Heard of that in the past and it looked really good. Anyway, they started out with Blue Fire, which I thought was pretty interesting looking. Blue Fire is it kind of looks like a Wind Waker in a way. It has a Wind Waker like art style.
Feel from it.
And some of the bad guys really. I was watching a Wind Waker video recently, and some of the bad guys really looked like you remember those like morph type bad guys in Wind Waker. Morph.
Oh, the moth.
Yeah. The bad guys kind of were reminiscent of that, and then this reversal and it just looked really fun. So it's something I really would like to check out.
Yeah, a lot of the like movement mechanics look pretty interesting. So I'm hoping it's not like always going to be platforming,
right?
So you can like actually do it in like different spots,
right?
They can do that.
So you mean like you don't
always have to like use those specific like spins or dashes just to get to like a spot like you're supposed to get to. Like you want to just like do it wherever you want to.
Yeah. But it looked really cool. I liked it, and the art style was really nice.
Yeah, it was very.
Yeah, I put down that it looks really cool, but I wouldn't play it because I wouldn't play that. But it looks really nice.
You gotta start expanding, man.
Nah, I don't feel like screaming the entire game.
Why would you be screaming?
You've seen me play games.
That would be fun to stream for you.
No,
I think it would be.
Nah.
The next game was Boldo.
It looks amazing.
Boldo looks really cool. It kind of has a Ni no Kuni type art style.
I love it.
Again, I had heard of Boldo recently. Well, I believe it was either in a direct or in a previous indie presentation. And it looked good then. It looks really good still. I'm looking forward to it. It's basically an RPG. Story based. Yeah. But no, it looks really cool. The art style is really nice. And I'm looking forward to trying that one out too.
I feel like indie games always have like a different sort of like art style to them.
That's what I like about indie games is that it's experimental 9 times out of 10. So they either gonna experiment with either the art style or the gameplay, and you like always get some kind of different ideas, or you get different spins on a genre with indie games that you might not always get with AAA or AA games.
Yeah. You explain what that means, but I forgot.
AAA is just it's really like budget. AAA games are like Call of Duty and stuff like that. Zelda and Mario will be considered Nintendo AAA franchises. Something like
God
of War is a AAA franchise.
I think Final Fantasy is also
definitely.
Okay,
just like the big name.
Animal Crossing is like, even though some people wouldn't say it, because some people associate AAA just with being core games or hardcore games, but something like Animal Crossing is still like a AAA.
Okay.
The next game was I Am Dead, which I think looks pretty cool as well. It's like a puzzler, but you're dead. I like the lead up to the story. It looked kind of cool, and again, it has a cool art style. And one thing I didn't mention is so far all of the games that they announced were not exclusive, but these are like Switch first, and then they'll be coming to other consoles later. And it just looked really interesting. So far, it's 3 for 3 for me. It's all 3 games that I would actually check out.
Just one for me.
I already know.
Broaden your horizon.
I am. I branch out with Ni no Kuni, so anime style games. I don't play games
so
like that.
So that means you should definitely try Blue Fire.
No.
Whatever.
No.
Next one was Bark.
Yes.
Oh, Bark was like the shooter.
The shooter, yeah.
That looked kind of cool. I love those kind of games. So anytime I see one of those, I'm kind of drawn into it, and it kind of reminds me a bit of Graceful Explosion Machine.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I was like, yeah, that looks really cool, and I just love those kind of games. Kind of arcadey shooter, and what made it even cooler for me is the fact that it's co-op.
Yeah.
So
co-op is always a plus.
Yes, definitely. Rosie, nothing.
It's. I would play it with you guys, but it kind of reminded me of that cactus game that you guys were playing that we played.
That is.
Oh, you talking about Android Assault Cactus?
Yeah.
They're not really that similar.
It kind of reminds me because it look chaotic.
They are kind of a similar genre, but it's different.
Barely.
And I'm not sure if that's a twin stick shooter or not.
No.
So it's not a twin stick.
It's basically like
it's just a regular shooter.
It's like what, Galaga kinda?
Yeah. And you like Galaga.
I do like Galaga.
You know what game like that once makes me think of though, even though it's not a twin stick shooter, is I wish there was another Geometry Wars.
Oh yeah.
Geometry
Wars is really cool. I love those games. The next one was Freepocalypse. That was the first meth for me.
Which one was
that? Was the Cyanide and Happiness. I didn't even
know.
Yeah.
I just got nostalgic over that.
I didn't even know that Cyanide and Happiness was still a thing. So when I saw it, it was like, I don't know.
It's kind of like what is it? South Park bringing the Stick of Truth game. It's kind of like that, but I think Cyanide and Happiness might be a little bit different, just because South Park is more known for its like NSFW type humor.
Right.
Like Cyanide and Happiness kind of has that, but like not to that extent, I feel.
No, I remember I used to see the webcomics all the time and they were kind of funny. But it's just that seems like 5 years ago now.
Yeah.
So it's
might
kind
be a
of
little outdated. But,
yeah. Okay, well the next one was Summer and Mara.
I would love to play that.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Can you explain it?
I
can't remember.
Wasn't it you can explore the ocean and you can farm.
Yeah, it's kind of like Animal Crossing, Harvest Moon, Stardew type of game. So
that's right in my ballpark. I love it.
Right up your alley.
Yeah. And I like the art style a lot. And the main character wasn't, white. So I just like seeing that.
It's a rarity.
Yeah.
Especially in games like that.
And it's a girl.
The next one was a meh for me. Well, I don't know if it's entirely a meh, but Quantum League.
It's an interesting premise.
It's a really interesting concept. The only thing that throws me off is a first-person shooter where you're having 1-on-1 and 2-on-2 battles exclusively. I don't know. It just doesn't really work. And at least in my head, it doesn't seem like it's something that's going to work out. But I do like that your previous runs basically are used to help you.
Yeah. That's the one with the clones or whatever?
Yeah, so it's interesting looking, but I don't know how it's going to work.
As a competitive game, it might be a little difficult. There's some cool things you can do, obviously, but for that idea, I think it should start out as like a campaign type thing before they branch out into like PvP. Like I really do like the idea. I think it's very unique. But competing with like the other games as like FPS, very difficult.
I agree. The next one was a Kanye. Oh.
What?
The next one was The Good Life.
Oh.
Kanye. Yeah, Matt corny. The only thing that I was wondering, like, why is he sitting there holding his monkey?
Oh yeah, I thought you were gonna be like monkeys in this.
And then it was about being a cat and a dog. And the only thing that stood out to me from it was the fact that you could ride sheep.
That's pretty cool. I would like to ride a sheep.
If that's the only thing that's drawing you in to a game, then
just a little something.
They need to expand.
It was kind of funny.
It looked weird to me.
It looks weird, but it was kind of funny to watch.
Yeah. Oh, the next one looked really good for me, which was The Last Campfire.
Oh yeah.
That looks really cool. What is that game? It reminds me of. What's it called? Rhyme? That's exactly it.
Oh, Rhyme wasn't good?
It was. Huh?
I don't even know. Tell me.
I have it in my wish list. I remember it from Indie World.
Oh, that one.
It wasn't good.
No, it wasn't that it wasn't good. It was just that when it
the
first came to the
stability?
Switch, it was
The stability?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that. I don't even remember like exactly what it was about. Like
it was like there was no combat. It had environmental puzzles and stuff,
Mhm.
and this is also, it looks like no combat, but there's a lot of environmental puzzles and stuff. It really reminds me of Rhyme, but again, what drew me in was the art style was really nice looking. But then I just like puzzle games. That's one of the reasons why I love Zelda games, is for the puzzles, and the puzzling in that looked like it was going to be fun as well.
yeah, definitely looked interesting. And like the atmosphere itself kind of made me feel emotional, like right away.
Right.
Like I really just like how they presented it.
Yes, that was the other
Oh
thing.
yeah, that was the point, right?
Yeah.
The presentation in some of these just period was really cool. The lead up to them. Even though one thing I didn't like is when they were having the presenters talk over the game. It was kind of annoying to me for some reason. And I don't understand why, but it was just annoying. So thankfully it wasn't for every video.
Yeah, I don't really mind it that much. If they like show the game first,
Right.
like the trailer or whatever, and then have them talk over it after that, that's fine. Because like I actually like hearing from the people who made the game. Like it just feels like more connected to
No, that's
them.
not. I'm talking about the people that were presenting the showcase. Like the first couple, they were talking over, and it was like kind of annoying.
Yeah, I understand.
PixelJunk Eden was the next game that was announced. I've always heard good things about the PixelJunk games, but I never played them. And I especially heard about good things about the first PixelJunk Eden. And again, art style looks really cool. And I know that they have really good music. Looks like just a really relaxing game that I would probably definitely I'd check out. I'd check it out. Especially if they drop a demo just for me to see if it's my type of game. But it looked fun.
I'd try it.
PixelJunk is, well, you can't remember.
It's
I can't really explain it.
yeah, weird.
But it looks interesting. You play as like this. I forgot the gameplay mechanic. That. But it looked interesting.
Okay. I trust.
Next one was Faria.
I don't remember that one.
It was a card based game, but they didn't explain it well enough for me to know exactly what you were doing with the cards.
Oh, with
that
the
one.
birds?
No, that
No?
was another
like
one.
Hearthstone type thing.
So that's what it was like. That's what Hearthstone is like.
It's not exactly like that. It's more like Hearthstone, Magic the Gathering mixed with like the Civilization games. I think that's like what it looked like to me.
That's not what it came off as in the video.
Yeah, I think it's just like trying to get a different sort of like style. Like they don't like copy off of like all the card games that they have, obviously.
All right. Next one was Eldest Souls. Look, you give me that kind of art style, and you already have me like 65% towards the purchase. I love those pixel art games, and it just looked really nice. And it's like the first time I saw it's like the first time I saw Dead Cells, and I knew just from the first time I saw Dead Cells that I wanted it and I was gonna love it. And then I saw this, and it's the same. It's like a Souls like I heard it's like a boss rush game. But it looks really cool. Again, I love the art style, and I like games like that. Period. The thing that was funny to me is that it's a Souls like, and it's basically like they took the name of two Souls games and added it together, because Elden Ring is the next Souls game, and then you have it's Elder Souls. Like,
yeah, it's a little.
That's right, like right on the nose, right on the nose.
Yeah.
But it looks interesting.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll be a decent game. Of course, like I feel like it might be overlooked in some cases, but I think it has potential.
Look, that pixel art style, that's all I need to see.
Yeah, me too.
I don't remember.
Then you had the Sizzle Reel, which we're not going to go over everything. I heard that the Blair Witch game was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know y'all not going to mess with that.
Well, I already like seen most of it. Kind of whatever.
Then you had Wingspan, which was another card-based game with birds.
Yeah.
What?
Why not?
I don't know. I just need them to like better explain some of these games.
I mean, there's a ton of card games, so like, why not?
There are. The only card game that I've ever put any real time into. Well, there are 2 card games that I put time in.
And
It was
that's
some Dragon Ball game. It was a card game on the Game Boy Advance.
oh,
It was
Was it-
actually on the Game Boy Color.
the
But I
Legacy of
played it
Goku
on.
one.
It was I forgot what it was called. It wasn't a Legacy of Goku game, but when we got that around the time that we had the Legacy of Goku game, and then I played some Slay the Spire, which is fun. I'm not sure about this. This looks weird. Moving Out looked really good. I think it's Moving Out is kind of like it looks like a. I don't always forget what I have in my head. It looks like an Overcooked type game.
Mm-hmm.
So I love Overcooked, and we always looking for the next multiplayer game. So we'll definitely be checking that out.
Yep.
And then finally, Exit the Gungeon, which made me happy because I loved Into the Gungeon, even though I suck at it. I'm not that bad at it, but I'm not great at it. But it's a really fun game. It was one of the earliest Switch games I owned. Like I remember those, other than Breath of the Wild and stuff like that. It was one of the first indies that I purchased on a Switch, and it was really fun. I put a ton of time into it, and I want to put time in this because I've already purchased it. I knew I was gonna purchase it, and then they shadow dropped it.
Yeah.
So I had to purchase it. I love when that's what I love about these presentations that Nintendo does. Especially lately, they always shadow drop something. And this was a good shadow drop because it's probably the biggest announcement of the show, and then they shadow dropped it too.
Yeah, made a lot of people happy.
Yep. I didn't know that it was a Apple. What's the Apple thing called?
Huh?
They have their game thing.
Apple Arcade?
Yeah, it was actually initially an Apple Arcade game. I believe that's expansion on it though.
Oh.
But again, I played a little bit so far, and it's fun. And I didn't know if I was gonna really enjoy it that much because it changed the perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But so far, playing a little bit it's good.
I think it's a nice change of perspective, honestly.
When I was watching the video, I wasn't sure, but when just playing a few minutes on it, I was like, "Yeah, it's cool."
Yeah.
So, I think the presentation was pretty good. If I had to grade it, I would give it like
Wait, didn't we skip something?
What did we skip?
I forget what it was called. It was that like the perspective one where you, like pick up an object and like changes.
Oh, that was in the Sizzle Reel.
Yeah, what was it called?
It was called Superliminal.
Oh yes, that. I actually kind of like that one. I think it's kind of cool.
So Superliminal was one of the games that was in the Sizzle Reel, and I guess it caught your interest. I didn't really get it that much.
The main reason it caught my interest was because there was a game like 4 years ago, I think, that was either like a precursor to that or just like a demo of it.
Mm-hmm.
Where it was like a therapy type session thing where it's like you pick up a card or something like that and you can use it to just like make a platform for yourself, just like a complete a level. Which I felt like was kind of cool.
One.
Yeah, that.
Okay.
I think it's like really interesting, honestly.
I would play that. It seems cool.
So now it's kind of like a puzzler then, right?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Okay, yeah. So it's something I would look into there.
Yeah. Just an honorable mention.
But I thought it was pretty good. If I had to grade the presentation, I would say a B.
Yeah, B plus for me.
See my.
Yeah, because you don't. We're gonna get her to play more games. She has to.
I'm branching out a little bit.
You are.
Yes,
little by
very
little.
slowly.
Little.
Tiny bit.
Tiny bit.
But you should really check out some of these. And like indie games are just ways for you to try new genres, and especially since they're usually less expensive than full price games.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always just a fun way to look into some stuff. I mean, I bought more indie games than I ever would have imagined on a Switch. I was not a real indie game purchaser before I got the Switch. Now on my Switch, I have tons of indie games. I probably have more indie games than I have. No, it's probably like the same. But I really have a lot that I enjoy. Like if I were to make a list out of my favorite Switch games, a few indie games would definitely make it in like the top 15.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, same.
They deserve a lot more respect.
They really do. That's why they still should be called Nindies.
Oh,
boy.
okay.
I just like that. But I guess I will live with the indie world. They actually also have a Twitter now. So I have to follow that.
Is there a reason why they changed it?
I have no idea. I guess maybe because of the fact that they changed the person that was really the liaison between Nintendo and Indies. So I guess when he left, they wanted to rebrand it.
I see.
What did you think of the indie world? Comment down below. If you want to see more content like this, leave a like. Comment down below.
Subscribe.
Share with your friends. Hit the bell. Follow our socials.
Don't be so sarcastic.
It's just my voice.
This is We Play Too Much, and we're out.
Peace.
Bye.